Paradise Camp has become a staple for the Miami football fan base, and in anticipation of what could be signed for the future, got Paul Scoop on the U to help us break it down. And Paul was there at Paradise Camp covering it for his channel, so please check out his work over on Paul Scoop on the U right here on YouTube. Paul, how you doing tonight?
Mark, I'm doing great. Thank you again for having me on the Mark Rogers TV show. It's always a pleasure to talk college football with the voice of college football, the man himself, Mark Rogers. So thank you again for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Always love tracking your work, and saw again that you were doing some tremendous work there at Paradise Camp. Before we get to the specifics there, we got a decommit here recently with Quan at wide receiver. So your thought process about what happened there and where the wide receiver position stands for the 22 class.
Yeah, so Quan, just a little backstory. When he commits to Miami, I'd say very recently after he commits to the University of Miami, he says he's 100% shutting down his commitment. He then decides to take an official visit to UCF. I recall Jason from Stadium Drive, who's very accurate. If you follow that podcast with his, informative information, the guy's on it. He said, hey, maybe the staff told him he should go looking around for other official visits. Regardless of the situation, there was a fallout after the UCF official visit, and Quan decommits from the University of Miami. That was the expectation once he visited UCF around the fan base. So the question is, where does Miami go from here? We currently have one wide receiver, Landon Ibieta, committed to the class. In my opinion, I think Landon Ibieta can have success at the Power 5 level, but not on the outside, strictly on the inside in a spread offense. So you got to find a wide receiver on the outside. And Miami has been pressuring hard for Jaden Gibson. He attends West Orange High School in North Florida. He's 6'4", 185 pounds, Mark. The thing is, Florida is putting the full court press for Jaden Gibson. He's probably the top wide receiver in the state of Florida, and Dan Mullen loves everything about him. So it's a very interesting situation. Miami is going to have to either win this battle against Florida or lose it, and he just canceled his visit from Tennessee. Another name to look out for that did attend Paradise Camp, Mark, was Sean Wilson, 6'5", 215-pound wide receiver out of Middle Village, New York. I've had the honor to interview him before Paradise Camp. During Paradise Camp, I spoke with his head coach there that made the trip with Sean. Basically what he told me, DeMarcus Van Dyke loves Sean Wilson, everything about him. But that's it. There's no really strong relationship going on with Rob Likens. And Sean has great body control. He has great hands. He's very comfortable with his own body. For a 6'5", 215-pound wide receiver, the way I view his profile, I think he can play at the Power 5 level, but at the tight end position, because he is a complete mismatch on the outside in deep ball situations and one-on-one matchups. He was tearing that up during Paradise Camp and on 7-on-7 drills. He can get open. But I just think with his measurements, I think he can succeed at the tight end position, put on a good 10 to 20 pounds of muscle and weight. I think he can be a very scary target. Another name to look out for, Mark, who just committed to the University of Louisville. This is someone my co-host Ross was privileged enough to interview. His name is Chance Morrow. He's a 6'6", 185-pound wide receiver. He attends West Charlotte High School out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's gained interest from North Carolina, Oklahoma, and Ohio State. When my co-host Ross interviewed Chance Morrow, Chance was very confident he was going to receive an offer from the University of Miami during that moment. He still has not received one. He's a basketball player as well, great athlete. That's another target to look out for. Remember, we're looking for outside receivers with a very large profile. You want to look for that 6'4" range. You don't want to go anything under 6'2" to play on the outside, unless you're just a burner. You have the speed, elite speed out there in college football. So just some names to look out for moving forward at the wide receiver position, class of 2022.